Hi, you're watching Rose Squad Reviews. I'm Melanie, and today we're not doing a review. Today we're doing a sketchbook tour because I actually did Inktober this year, and I'm super excited that I accomplished a thing, and I want to tell you guys about it. I've also wanted to do a sketchbook tour for a while, but haven't actually had sketches to show, so now we do. So that's exciting. So buckle up. It's gonna be a fun time. This is my sketchbook. I got it the middle of the summer, so I've had it for a little bit, but I haven't done a whole lot in it up till Inktober. So we're just gonna compile all those sketches plus the Inktober ones, so you get to see my Inktober work plus some extra fun things. So yeah. These are actually sketches from last year's Inktober. Last year I did a couple days of Inktober, just kind of whenever I felt like it, pretty much. You'll notice this later on, but I got into the habit of kind of Pokemonifying my prompts. Yeah. Also, preface that y'all need to know. So a lot of the pictures that I drew in this sketchbook are drawn off of reference photos, and most of this is just for practice for me to be able to how do I draw things. And also reference photos help a lot. For example, this person here, I found a drawing on Pinterest that I was like, that looks really cool, I'm gonna see if I can draw that. And so I didn't trace it, but I had my phone here or something, and then I was sketching and looking at it. And so this isn't necessarily 100% originally my artwork in this instance. I'll try and point out the ones that are, because there are a couple of them here that are more original to me, but I also wanted to give credit where credit is due. This lady here is also another example. I did color her on my own. I don't know if that makes a difference, but just wanted to put that out there. Okay, so these guys. We're almost doing Inktober yet. This is the last thing before Inktober. I'm trying to move this that way you can see what's going on. So these are drawings that I drew myself. However, the characters are one of my friend's original characters from her comic that she's working on. Super excited. Yay! This is Chrissy, and this is Ben. And Chrissy is happy because she got frozen yogurt, and Ben is grumpy because he had to leave the house to take Chrissy to get frozen yogurt. I'm super excited and just happy the way that these turned out, and I showed them to my friend, and she was like, yay! And it's actually kind of interesting because I drew Chrissy before Inktober, and then I came back and drew Ben in the midst of Inktober, and I think you can kind of tell there's been a progression. So we love improving art styles. Let me make sure this is back in somewhat in focus. And here we are. We're starting Inktober, guys. As you can see, lots of Pokemon. It's great. I was following in part some of the official Inktober prompts, but also I had another prompt list that I was looking at to be if I'm bored and I don't want to do the prompt that's listed for today, I have options. And so the prompt for this day was Keeper, and so I drew the bird Keeper dude person. I also drew a Furo, because, yeah. I also drew his shirt blowing up in the wind for added dramaticness, I guess. And then this day was Wisp. I really like how Lampent turned out. When I was coloring him, his flame turned out well, but then the rest of him, I tried to do a shadow, but then that didn't really work out, and then I just ended up having to full on commit and color the rest of him, and so now he's blue. He's supposed to be not blue, but I like the way that this sort of turned out, where you can see the back of Lampent's lampshade thing. So pleased with how that worked. And then I had skip pages because markers. This is Dragonite for Bulky. And then this day, the prompt was radio, and I was I don't know what to draw that relates to Pokemon. So I was you know what, we're going to do an actual, just a pen sketch. And so at first I drew this dude, then I'm he's listening to the radio, and then I kind of drew his whole room and stuff. And headcanon, he's listening to Elvis, which is here. But while I was drawing this, I was listening to King by Lauren Aquilina. And it just, the vibes. So check out that song and look at my picture and don't tell me that it's not channeling the vibes from that song. I drew Link, and this was one of the ones where this artwork did not exist previously before I drew it, if that makes sense. So I kind of found a pose that I was like, wah. You can't see me posing, but and then I drew the pose, and then I drew Link's outfit and face and hair and stuff on top of that. And then I didn't have the Korok here for a while, but I was like, he looks like he's looking down at somebody, just the way I ended up drawing his eyes. And so I was like, well, maybe he's facing off with Korok. So there you go. This is Dedenne. I really like how these guys turned out. I like how a lot of them turned out. There's a couple though, man. We'll get to those. But this day was Sunflower and this day was Nocturnal Creature. And so I really like how they're both 2nd gen. And then it kind of the composition flows. And we also have them this is the daytime, this is the nighttime, opposites, yay. Fun times. And then we did Yam Mask for Mask and Trubbish for Disgusting because, let's see. And this was Slippery, so I drew Gundra, which, has slime dripping off of it, so it's probably slippery. I don't know. And I didn't really know what to draw for Dune, so I found some art on Pinterest that kind of gave off some of these vibes, and so then I was like, I'm gonna try doing that. And so I did something similar, and I colored it, and yay. Okay, this is one of the ones that I was talking about earlier. So the day was Armor, and I think this is an Argonaut from Legend of Zelda. That's what it is. That's what I was trying to draw. I should know. And you can kind of tell, I started out really yeah, we're gonna do this, up, and then as it goes up, it just sort of, look at his hand. And I was like, I drew a thing, it resembles, it fits the prompt, it's not inked, but it's fine. The whole point of this is that I draw something every day. And so that's what I drew that day. No regrets. And then we have Wes. And then day 16 was Rocket. So I drew Team Rocket, of course. And then day 17, I don't know, I just was like, I just want to draw a superhero character. And so Storm, we have lightning, there's lightning and storms. And so I drew her like she was flying, and this is one that I found a pose, and I was like, I'll draw this pose, and then I drew stuff on top of it, so it's more original than the other ones. Yay. And I really like the way she turned out. I really like this shadow. I don't know. I just... Anyway. This page makes me laugh. Okay, so the day 18 was Trap. And Trap Inch, because obviously, and I didn't really want to have to go in and ink him, but then I also wanted to draw General Akbar, and so I did. It's a trap. And I just like how these little guys turned out. They're just rough sketches, but they're great. I love them. And then Spinda for Dizzy. Okay, and then Sleep for Snorlax. Chef. I drew Mallow because she is a chef. It works. I also wanted to get into drawing more people, because I'm not very good at drawing people. So... definitely used a reference photo for this one. Who boy. Okay, so this was River, and so I drew kind of a river, and I was trying to make it lighter as it went up, and then I was like, oh, maybe it's a sunset or something, but then the pink's kind of a lot, but you get the idea. The prompt was Dig, so I drew Drillbur, and I drew Diglett, and I drew Baltoy. And I ended up coloring on the other side on accident, but it's fine because I don't really care about these very much. Although I kind of like this sketch of Diglett. I think that's kind of fun. Because then we have Midna, which the prompt was Buddy, and might be stretching it, but she's kind of Link's buddy. But I'm really, really, really happy with how this turned out. With, like, her markings and just, like, I'm really pleased. And then for clouds, I drew Alteria and Swablu because they're literal cloud birds. We are getting near the end, folks. So day 27, I was stretching this a bit because the prompt was wheat, and I was like, well, there's not really like a wheat Pokemon, but Milo's like a grass gym leader, and sometimes you see him in pictures of wheat because there's like a big wheat field right out of his side of his like town area, and his name is Milo, and that's also a kind of grain. Wheat's a grain. I just wanted to draw Milo, so I drew Milo, and I think he's kind of a younger version of Milo. I don't know, he has like kind of a baby face, but, and also his hat's like floating above his head, so that's fun. And then day 28 was float, so obviously I had to draw Floatzel. Like, there's just no option, guys. And we're almost done. Okay. Day 29, shoes. There was a process that went to go into making this one. And so I was thinking about drawing Gardenia. It's like the grass gym leader in 2nd gen. And so I drew this figure of like a person sitting down, and like you can see their shoes pretty well. So I was like, this will help. And then I was like, maybe they're drawing on a log. But then I was like, oh, Gardenia has like this weird sort of cape thing, and I was like, I don't know how it would work on this position, and so then I scrapped that idea. Instead I drew yellow, which I really like yellow. And I did a cosplay of Yellow a couple years back, and I finally got around to taking pictures of her recently. I might do a video talking about that. I super like Yellow, and I think in this picture she's like a little bit older. You can see her face is doing that weird like elongated thing, but it's fine. And then day 30 was ominous, and so I drew Drifblim. And then day 31, I think the prompt was crawl, but I was like, I don't know what to draw for that, and I was Halloween, and then so I wanted to draw a pumpkin, and so I drew Punkboo. And I think it turned out really cute. And then over here I have kind of like an Inktober 2020 list of all my prompts, and then which prompt list they came from, and it just vibes. So that's my Inktober sketchbook tour. I have some pages left in this sketchbook, so let me know if you enjoyed this. Maybe we'll go back and finish the sketchbook when I get it finished. Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this sketchbook tour, and I will see you next time.